What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the Hardcat. We're running a little late here. We have some difficulties every once in a while. It's the beauty of doing a live show, people. Don't you worry about nothing. We got it all figured out. But CJ, how we doing on this fine Tuesday night, there, brother?
I would be great if my internet was good, man. But other than that, all is well, man. How you doing, bro?
Oh, we're living the dream out here, CJ. I'm not gonna lie to you. The boy hit the gym today, trying to be in shape other than round. Uh, so
Yeah,
your boy's a little sore, but we're gonna survive. We're gonna survive. And I am not sure. I haven't seen Josh move in about 30 seconds here. Josh, you still with us? Because we got a nice little special guest here with Mr. Josh. I don't think Josh was with us anymore. So you know what? We're gonna do this for him. Bam. Just me and CJ again. Just back like we never left. As you can see, King Henry in the background of the show as well. Woo. And you know what? We're actually going to start there as we wait for Josh to come back. Obviously, when he does, we'll introduce the man, the legend himself. Let him do his thing, and then we'll hop back into these games. But CJ, we're going to start as always, as we do, breaking down the previous week of NFL action. And trust me, there was plenty of action. And it's kind of funny because I looked at the schedule last week when we were doing our picks, and I said there is not a lot of games on the schedule that I actually want to watch. And well, it turned out to be a pretty solid week of football. I don't know how the NFL has finessed the system into making these standalone games good that should be terrible, but it's happened. The games have been good, even though they should be awful. So we'll start it off with the Sunday night football game. And obviously, all of the thoughts are going to be on the last call of that game. But before we get into that, because I kind of do want to do a deep dive into it, I definitely have some thoughts about it. CJ, what did you think of the game up to that point? And then, like I said, we can do a little deep dive on that last call because I'm sure you have some things to say about it as well.
yeah. I thought it was a good game. Both offenses were really putting up points. Uh, Derrick Henry, that's why he's the background in this episode today. Had a big game, a 76-yard touchdown. For the Titans to really uh, score for the first time in the game. Josh Allen played well, had an interception, but other than that, he was dealing, doing a great job of getting guys the ball. Sanders, Diggs, Beasley, all those guys ate. I think all those guys had a touchdown last night. So those look like some really valuable weapons for the Bills going forward. Emmanuel Sanders champion, so he understands what to do in high key situations, primetime games. That's what he's known for. So definitely a big time pickup. They had a good game. Titans, again, Derrick Henry just continuing to just carry this team. A.J. Brown has some solid moments. Julio Jones still nicked up with the hamstring. I think this is something that's probably going to happen for the rest of his career with these soft tissue injuries, unfortunately. But hopefully they could keep him healthy at the right time. That'd be best for the Titans. But they still have A.J. Brown, still a big time wide receiver. Still need some help with some other guys, maybe some tight end production, because you don't want to put so much on 22. But man, Tannehill has to play well. Tannehill has to play well. Played an okay game. Made some key plays in the fourth quarter to get the team to get the lead and then keep the lead. But he's gonna have to play better, man. Especially once they come across these more and more of these younger quarterbacks, more of these young great quarterbacks in the AFC. He's gonna have to step up. If he's not able to step up, it's gonna be one and out. It's gonna be one and done in the playoffs, like we saw last year against the Ravens. So, he has to play better because the quarterbacks in the conference are playing better.
Yeah, just kind of going off what you said, this is what we should have expected from the Titans. Not what you expect as the overall outcome of the game, because I think a lot of people obviously, I think including both of us, had picked the Bills to win this game. So it was a good game though. It was. There were certain points, that I thought one team was going to, start running away with the other one. The Titans looked really good early. Then the Bills, kind of stormed back, did their thing. It looked like they were going to, kind of get away with it for a little bit. But like you said, Henry is the background of this episode for a reason. You just go over to his stats: 20 carries, 20 carries. Nothing. I wouldn't even say anything crazy, but he had 143 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's a 7.2 average for the people out there that aren't very good at math, and I'm not very good at math either. But the website tells me, so I read it off. And you know what the scary thing for the NFL is there, CJ? Are you aware that Mr. King Henry is actually ahead of his pace from last season?
I mean, the thing about on pace is so tricky, man, because it makes good talk. It makes good talk, but if he could definitely to say he could get to 2105, like get the Eric Dickerson's record, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, man. Uh, Maybe 2000 again, very possible, definitely. But if he could get to that 2105, man, or maybe even close to Peterson, 2097, I think that would definitely be something special. And in a league where it's a quarterback-driven league, this era has definitely changed. Last era was more. Well, I would say 2 eras ago, it was predominantly running back centric. From the beginning of the NFL to maybe 15, 20 years ago, it was really running back centric. You see all these great running backs that was the game. Now we're seeing the quarterbacks, wide receivers, just filling up the stat sheets and things of that nature. And it suits him, honestly. It suits his play. It suits him for him to play in this era, be this size, because now most teams, what they're going to do is they have safeties in there playing linebacker positions, and he's bigger than any of those safeties. He's bigger than any of those linebackers. A lot of teams now, they're drafting linebackers smaller so they could be able to cover. So even when you have a loaded box, what's a loaded box if your linebacker's 215 and the running back's 240? So it's simple math for the Titans, and that's why they've been able to been so dominant these last few years. And you just have to give him credit. He's been a dog. If he could pass Adrian Peterson, I think it would definitely make him the MVP. And they get to the playoffs. I think you got to give him the MVP. You got to give him the MVP because you know what they're going to do every single day, every single down, every single possession, every single game going in the game plan. You know who to stop. And if he's able to get to 2100, I mean, what can you say? I mean, listen, all these quarterbacks. They're gonna get the awards. They're gonna get these awards, man. I mean, if Brady goes crazy and they said he's on pace for 6,000 yards. At this point, he's already got 2,000 in 6 weeks. So, if he could do something crazy like that, then of course, the voters are probably gonna give it to Tom. But I mean, what Henry's doing right now, man, in a quarterback-driven league is definitely special.
Yeah, and like you said, I think it's even more special for Henry because Tannehill is the quarterback. And I don't mean to disrespect Tannehill. I don't. It's going to come off as disrespectful. You know what? It kind of is, but I don't mean to. If this would be a totally different story if this was a Dak Zeke situation where Zeke is very good. Like if you could have taken Zeke from his first 2 years and then Dak right now and put them on the team, like that's what I feel like would be less impressive almost, because you're good at two things on that team. Dak can obviously do his thing, and then obviously you have Zeke being able to do his thing. Like you said, everybody, their mother, father, grandfather, great-great-Grammy, know that the Titans are running the ball. Like that's just their game plan every single time that they have the ball. And Henry has 143 yards and 3 touchdowns. 3. And I mean, just to go off that again, Tannehill was only 18 for 29, had 216 yards. As we welcome our guy back, maybe potentially. I don't know why. I can see him down below, but on the screen here it's black. Josh, you're killing me. See, that's what happens when you're a Ravens fan. I'm just saying. I'll try to add Josh back again. See, black screen. Look at this. Ravens fans, typical. Can't never trust him. See, we should have said no to having him on the show.
Yeah,
I knew it was bad juju when I agreed to a Ravens fan coming on, but I thought I would try. I was trying to be nice guy Connie. Oh, there's Josh, all pixelated. Josh, can you hear us? Can you give me a head nod? Oh no, Josh, you're killing me here. You're killing me. We're gonna let Josh get things figured out. We'll bring him back on eventually. Don't worry, people. But yeah, Tannehill was 18 and 29, 216. That's not special. 0 touchdowns through that interception. So, and then it was very important that the wide receivers came back too, because like you said, AJ Brown 7 for 91, Julio had 3 for 59, and one of those catches, it's over. That Julio catch on the sideline is catch of the year. I don't care what else happens, unless there's a Odell part 2. I'm giving a catch of the year because that was incredible. It was absolutely incredible. But
it was a great catch. Yeah, great catch by Julio. I mean, he's gonna give you those type of catches, man. But they need him for the long run. They need him for the long run because once they start, trying to, if AJ Brown doesn't have a great game, you need Julio to step up and make some plays for them. That's why they made the trades. That's why they made the trade for him. So I mean, yeah, he's gonna make some spectacular plays here and there, but if they're trying to get that Lombardi, they're gonna need him for more than just a couple spec catches. They're gonna need him for couple 8-9 receptions over a buck. He's gonna have to get busy, man. So hopefully he can stay healthy.
And like I said, let's get into the as we got unwrapped, pulling up as always. Hey people, by the way, I'm just saying, if you're watching over there on Twitter, I greatly appreciate that you're watching the show anyway. But head over to Facebook. Head over to the YouTube channel and go watch over there as well. Because with the new little Twitter update and everything that's going on, we can't see the comments from Twitter anymore. So we love interacting with the people. We love having back and forth conversations. So I want to be able to do that. So head over to the YouTube, head over to the Facebook, and make sure you give us a subscribe. Go whatever you do on Facebook. I literally don't know because, well, I'm not 65, so I don't have Facebook. But yeah, make sure you check us out over there. But let's get into the big story that I would say from this game. And that would be the obvious 4th and 1 call with the Bills on about the 3-yard line, I want to say. I think there was only about 22 seconds left in the game. At least there was after the play happened. Might have been 30 seconds before the play happened. But, CJ, I want to get your thought on it because here's mine. I think I was more angry about it in the moment because I hated the call in the moment. And don't get me wrong, I'm still not that big a fan of going for it there. I think you take the 3 points, you play for overtime, you see what happens. Yeah, they were having trouble stopping Henry, but I think that if the defense really they could have gotten a stop. And plus, who knows, maybe you win the coin toss, and they couldn't stop the Bills from scoring anyway. I mean, did you see how fast they got down the field? So used to those shenanigans from Josh. You know what, Kyler? I don't know how you do it, man. I don't know how you do it. This. Well, first of all, I commend you for, like I said, doing it with the Ravens fan. I don't even know how it's possible. But I would take the 3 points there. I said that last night in all of our chats and everything like that. But my main problem is them trying to get cute. Like, you have Allen in the shotgun, then he, pitter-patters, walks up, and then snaps the ball and doesn't go straight up the middle, tries to go a little bit left and slips and falls. So here's my thing. You have your let's see if on here they got Josh Allen's 6'5", 237-pound quarterback, who, by the way, in case anybody didn't know, is also the leading rusher for the team. He had 9 carries for 26 yards in this game as well. Why would you do a play like that when you could at least do a QB power? We saw Cam Newton do it for all those years. He's the same size. We see Lamar do it. Obviously, he's more athletic, so he can get to the outside, make some more plays happen, whatever. But why are you trying to get cute? If anything, try the QB power. try, a bootleg. I don't know, something. That play call makes no sense to me. It was terrible. And I like McDermott. I think he's a really good coach. I think he's done a great job, turning the culture around in Buffalo, making it a very good team, obviously, as we can all tell. And I don't think this loss is going to hurt them in a big way, obviously. They're still going to be the first, they're obviously going to win the division. I don't think anybody's really competing with them in that division. I know that we're Patriots fans. Let's be honest here. The only thing that I think that hurts them is now it'll be harder for them to get the number 1 seed because I don't think they play the Ravens this year. So you're strictly it's out of your control. But if you win that game, you obviously keep pace. And my other problem with it mainly is that after the play, there was about 20 seconds left. So let's say you get it. You were at the goal line. That play gets you a first down, and then you're at the 2. And yes, is there a very good chance that they were going to end up scoring a touchdown if they did get that? Absolutely. But that play wasn't getting you into the end zone anyway. So you had to get the first down and then get into the end zone. It's not like you were at the 1-yard line and that play was going to score the touchdown to win the game. So I know the analytics say that, you were supposed to go for it and blah, 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 which is why I hate analytics. I have from the beginning. I just don't get it. I guess there was a 21%, chance, it was 21% better to do that than to kick the field goal. But guess what? They didn't calculate, apparently. There was a 0% chance of a win if you didn't get it. So, and that's what ends up happening. I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the play. CJ, am I wrong here?
Yeah, I'm a fan of the play. I just wasn't a fan of just the execution. I just feel like, he did slip. And then also we have to give credit to Jeffrey Simmons, man, the defensive tackle from Tennessee that made that play. He made a great play. He got lower than the offensive lineman, and just made a great play, man. And it just moved off as soon as the ball was snapped. Made a great play. Got underneath, and Josh Allen slipped a little bit. I would have probably liked to see him probably extend over the center and then get the first yard, get the first down. That probably would have been better for them. I think they had 2 timeouts left, so even if they would have got the first down, they would have been able to. They still would have been able to, run a couple plays. And if they weren't able to, if they probably maybe a shot or 2 at the end zone, and if they weren't able to get it, then they could kick the field goal. But I like the aggressiveness, man. Sean McDermott, he trusts his team. He trusts Josh Allen. I just feel like they weren't able to execute it. Hindsight, everybody's looking at the replay and looking at, the above the line of scrimmage and above both lines. There was a gap on the right side, which he could have took. But he's expecting to get it regardless. He's like you said, he's a big guy, he has a big frame. So it doesn't matter whether the gap was there. He did slip, and like I said, that defensive lineman made a big time play. And like I said, he moved over as soon as the ball was snapped. He got underneath the offensive lineman and got to the point of attack. You got to give the Titans credit for that because if he doesn't do that and he gets blocked, Allen probably gets it even minus the slip because of forward progress. So you try to win the game. I feel like, could they kick the field goal? Sure, but we've seen a lot of. Even though it's right, it's not a far field goal, but we've seen a lot of these kickers over the last 6 weeks or so.
If you missed that when you're out the NFL, never again.
Listen, Tyler Bass is not bad, but we've seen some. He's good, but we've seen these kickers, some good kickers miss some timely kicks. So. And anything can happen. Obviously he's going to trust his quarterback. He's going to trust his team to make that play. He's like I've been saying, like we've been saying over the last few weeks, he's the best running threat on the team. So there's no need to give it to Moss or Singletary, any one of those guys. So like I said, it's about poor execution, and you got to give credit to Jeffrey Simmons from the Titans defensive line that made a big time play.
Yeah, I think as it goes on, I get less and less mad about the play, about them going for it. I shouldn't say the play call because I still hate that play call. I don't care. Nobody can tell me that was a good play call. I understand that, listen, we're Patriot fans. Brady made a living on those little stupid QB sneaks.
Right, yeah,
So,
man. Extended a lot of drives.
so it was definitely possible for him to get it, but I don't know. I still think if I'm in that situation, I got to give Allen a running start. I don't know. I feel like that gives you such a better chance at being able to get that.
Wait, so you wanted him to go out the shotgun?
Yes.
I mean, I understand. I understand because like we're saying, he is athletic, but he's gonna have to get a running start, and he anything could happen there. Like the safety could come down on the end. I mean, he's literally right. If he doesn't slip, we're not having this conversation. He slipped. He slipped. His foot got underneath him. So, but I understand like the QB power, but the QB power is you're coming from you're so far from the yard, from that 1 yard. Anything could happen. So I understand him starting the shotgun, then going to center, because then maybe you could try to get an encroachment, try to get an offsides, and have that D line moving because they're trying to, they want to make a stop. But hey, I mean, it happens. It happens, man. That defensive line, they pinched at the right moment. If you check the replay, they pinched at the right time. They knew it was going to happen, and they made a play. They made a play, bro. And just got to give them credit. But I understand what you're saying. I mean, either way, I think the Bills are going to be good. I know you said it might hurt. I know you said the Bills might hurt them. I mean, that loss might hurt them going forward. But looking at their schedule, they got some cupcakes, man. They got the Jets.
Yeah, no. Like I said, they're a shoo-in, and like an
absolute. I think they're still. No, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I would sell my house right now, and for them to win the division.
Right.
I'm
talking. I guess I think the conference too. I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, listen, the Ravens are playing great football right now, but Cleveland's still a threat. I don't know the rest of their schedule. I'll have to look. But like we just said, we didn't expect the Titans to beat the Bills, and they did. So anything could happen. I think they're right there. Those are clearly the two best teams in the AFC right now. And yeah, like I said, anything can happen. Like, and then again, looking at their schedule, it looks very winnable. So if they just keep continuing to do what they could do, but we'll see what happens at the end.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, the Bills are definitely going to be fine. I think it hurts them a little bit more in the conference standings. Do I still think they can win it? Of course. This this game proved, it's the NFL. Anything can happen because a lot of people didn't really give the Titans not a chance to win this game, but a lot of people just didn't think it was going to happen. Here's my other little takeaway from it, and then we'll move on. You can give your thought on it as well. Obviously, everybody was talking about the Bills' defense, me included, and I think I got swept up into how good they played. They had those two shutouts. I mean, they were against the Texans and the Dolphins, so it shouldn't really count. But this was the first decent offense that they played. I don't think the Titans are obviously a great offense. They're nowhere near the Kansas Cities and the Ravens type of offense and all those.
Well, Kansas. Well, they play Kansas City.
All right, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they held it down pretty well. They held it down pretty well. But yeah, I see what you're saying. I think they're still good. It's just, again, I mean, like I said when we were talking about Henry, bro, it's just if he gets a full head of steam, it's tough to stop, man. And again, back in the day, the linebackers were, they had the big pads. So, they were able to initiate contact. Bosworth. Yeah, Bosworth and those guys, man. And even Urlacher and Ray Lewis, they had bigger pads. Now these guys, they want to be faster. They want to move sideline to sideline. So their pads are much more lighter. And for Derrick Henry, that's perfect for him. And, you bring in a safety down in the box. If that safety makes a wrong angle and he gets the hole, he's going to the crib. We already seen him go 90 plus twice already in his career. So just one of those.
You want to know another scary thing?
What's up?
That last night Henry's touchdown was the fastest anybody's run this year so far.
Yeah, that's the thing for him, man. I think a lot of people sleep on his speed. His speed is very deceptive.
That's a big man running 21 miles an hour.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and so a lot of people think he may slow up, or they could be able to get an angle on him because he's so big, and then he's milliseconds later he's already exactly. Milliseconds later, he's already by you and he's going to the crib. So he's just a freak of nature, man. He's a freak of nature, and it was just one of those games where it really came down to the end, and the Titans just made it. They made one better play than Buffalo.
Yeah, we'll move on to that Sunday night game. Like I said, somehow the NFL has finessed the system from the football gods that games that should not be good end up being good. I thought the Bills would win pretty easily. The Titans, a great game. And then this is a prime example. Nobody in their right mind should have wanted to watch the Seahawks-Steelers game after Russ went out.
Yeah, I was on Netflix for like the first quarter. Like I told you, bro, I wasn't watching this. I was like,
I listen. I don't blame you. I'm over here, saw some people up on 2K, and then I looked over at the game, and I'm like, wow, there's some interesting things happening over here. But yeah, it ended up being a very good game. Goes into overtime. I feel like we've had so many overtime games this year. But yeah, it was another good game. Ben 29-40, 229 a touchdown. Najee Harris had 24 carries, 81 yards. And then the man is also a wide receiver. 6 receptions, 46 yards. Najee's the best player on that team. On offense, I should say. Sorry, on offense. Because TJ Watt is a different breed of person. But this was kind of impressive from the Seahawks' point of view. I still would say Geno Smith went 23-32, had 209 yards in that touchdown. Obviously, had that very costly fumble. But then you look at some things that are nice takeaways from this. You have Alex Collins, 20 carries, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Once they started running the ball with him, the game completely changed. That third and fourth quarters when they really decided, like, wow, this is actually working. So they stuck with that, and it was a good plan out of them. They really almost pulled off this game. There were a few moments that I thought they were going to do it, but obviously Geno had that big fumble in overtime. I mean, I guess you can't really blame him. You got TJ Watt coming at you, and he ended up stripping the ball away from him. TJ Watt is just very good at football. I mean, he had 3 passes deflected, had the fumble. I mean, did he have a sack? And he had 2 sacks in the game, 3 tackles for loss. TJ Watt is a different breed. I still say that he got robbed out of the Defensive Player of the Year last year. Listen, I understand that Aaron Donald's very good. No one here is gonna disagree with that. But I still think TJ Watt won that. But a good game, like I said, some things to take away for the Seahawks. Collins looked good, so you're not too worried that Chris Carson's out. The defense played pretty well. I know they're playing up against the Steelers, though, so I don't know how much it counts because we can all kind of agree that the Steelers not known for the offense anymore. But CJ, what'd you take away from this game?
Defense, Steelers defense, man. I mean, you just said they're not known for their offense. I think they're going back to their roots. I mean, you look at back in the 70s, Steel Curtain, all the Hall of Famers they had on that side of the ball. They got some dogs over there on that side, and if that offense could just try to get some consistency, they're going to be a threat. Big Ben, obviously not the same Big Ben we've seen last 5-6 years. Can't move around like he used to, able to improv and turn plays that shouldn't be plays into big time throws, big time passes. He doesn't have that type of talent on the outside like he used to, and he doesn't have the athleticism like he did. So they're going to have to play a more conservative game. The offensive line is going to have to be more productive in order for them to get Najee the ball. Najee had a solid game, like you mentioned earlier when we started breaking down the game. And for the Seahawks, they were in it. They were in it. I know a lot of people were talking about DK. I know you tweet. I saw what you said. DK trying to play. To me, it just didn't look. It was just bad IQ on his end. I could in a way I could see he maybe was trying to get a couple more yards than go out of bounds, but you probably just got to go out of bounds.
Man just started walking. Literally just started walking.
Yeah, I think he. I don't know what he was trying to do. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, but then he's going at Shannon Sharp, man, and
had that wipe his ass with his resume. That's a bold statement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess he hasn't done his history on Shannon Sharp, right? I mean, which is fair. I mean, a lot of people haven't They don't know their history. But it was definitely a bad IQ play in the DB by Pittsburgh. That's a big play. I mean, if Swain doesn't recover that football, credit to Swain, man. I mean, he was the unsung hero of that game. You know, he doesn't get up as quickly as he did, get to the ball, give the ball to the ref so the ref could spot. You know, that was clutch. That was clutch. That's high. That was a high IQ moment by him. So his teammate definitely made up for his lack of knowledge, really, what's going on in that situation for Seattle. And then TJ Watt, like you said, I mean, he's gonna be in the conversation with Defensive Player of the Year every single year for the rest of his career. Had a monster game, like you mentioned, just big time, man, big time. A lot of defensive ends. After the QB climbs up in the pocket, you know, they go around. He worked back and was able to get the Geno and then get that sack fumble. And that was a dagger right there. That was a dagger. And you look at the two primetime games, it came down to two defensive stops. So that's big time. I know everybody. You're looking at these passing offenses, and we're looking at these quarterbacks. It's not pretty, but you know you still need your defense to make plays. You still need your defense to make plays in order to win championships. And that was definitely a big time play by TJ Watt. Steelers are right there. I mean, they're 3-3. In a division where, you know, we don't quite know the direction of the Browns. You know, we like what we see from Cincinnati, but how long will this sustain? So, I mean, you know, anything can happen. Anything can happen, man.
Listen, one little bad thing happens to Lamar, and the whole
sure, 100%. Yeah, they've already been, like you said, they've already been decimated with injuries. So. If you know, they have to consider that offensive line is going to be the key on offense. You know, we know the defense. It's going to come down to that O-line. They're going to have to be productive. Give the rock to Najee Harris. He's young. He has fresh legs, and he's going to have to be the focal point of their offense. And Ben just not make mistakes and make the right plays. And hopefully those guys on the outside, Claypool, Johnson, they step up when it's time.
You know, CJ. You mentioned about how he doesn't really have the same weapons as they used to over there on the Steelers, and it reminded me of this picture that I sent into the football group chat of AB's 6-year stretch.
Yeah, and wow, I had looked at that.
Woo! I don't think I or the people realized how different this man was. 110 for 1499, 8 touchdowns. 129, 1698, 13 touchdowns. 136, 1834, and 10 touchdowns. 106, 1284, 12 TDs. 101, 1533, 9 touchdowns. And then capped it off with 104, 1,297 yards and 15 touchdowns. That's out of pocket.
Yeah,
I think in those 6 years, if he never played another game ever again, I would have voted him into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, he would have been a Hall of Famer right off that, 100%. And it's probably, you know, we slept on it because he was doing it at a time where they had remember Dez was playing at a high level, Calvin was playing at a high level, Julio prime. So we look at these big body wide receivers making a lot of plays, and obviously that
they were making the fancy ones.
All right, they were making the fancy ones, and obviously that attracts the eye more. But you know, this guy's 5'10". Maybe, you know, $190, $195 or something like that. And he's just, you know, he was big time, bro. And remember, he was a kick returner out of Central Michigan.
Yes.
So big time, you know, one of the greatest steals ever, right up there with Brady, as one of the greatest all time.
Yes, both 6-round picks, right?
Both 6-round picks, exactly. That's why they mesh so well. I guarantee you that's one of the reasons why they mesh so well.
Like that 2015 year is ridiculous. 136 catches, 1,834 yards and 10 touchdowns. That's ridiculous.
He's a beast. He's still a beast.
Yeah.
Is he not the leading receiver right now in Tampa?
He might be. There's a very good chance that he is. I would not doubt that at all.
Yeah, like I mean, he's a dog, man. He's a dog, and like going back to Pittsburgh, they don't have anything like that right now. You know, maybe Claypool becomes a number one in due time, but to do stuff that you just mentioned, I don't see it, man. They do a great job at drafting wide receivers. Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
They do a
could
great
never
job.
be us. Could never be us.
Never. I mean, I wish. I mean, they
You
had
know, CJ, let's get into it. Let's get into it then. 'Cause like you said, it can never be us.
can never.
No, not one time. Not even in the glory days. But we'll get into our boys here. Cowboys come into Foxborough, another loss. Patriots now 0-4 at home. I think the last time they did that, Drew Bledsoe was a starting quarterback. 35-29. Cowboys improved to 5-1. And I guess I'll start it off with you, CJ, because I like to talk a lot. So, what are your just overall thoughts of the games and everything that went down?
Man, you want to talk about a roller coaster of emotions,
bro. Jesus.
Start off the game, I think we did a great job turning the ball over and getting two key red zone stops. The 4th and 1 play on 3rd down. Was it a touchdown? Maybe. I don't know. I didn't see where did his knee fall. I'm not sure. And then Jawan Bentley makes a big time play, smacking the ball out of Dak's hands before crossing the plane. Clutch, big time play. I'm like, all right, we're playing well. Mac in the offense, moving down the field, running the ball well. 2 touchdowns. It's 14-10. I'm like, we keep it going. We're good. We had a big time play to, I believe, it would have been another touchdown, but it got called back. It would have been It would have been Myers' first touchdown in his career. In his career, bro, he has more passing touchdowns than receiving touchdowns in his career, man. And he's the leading receiver right now for the Patriots. So just think about that. Yeah, just think about that before everybody wants to say what they want to say about Mac, right? But that gets called back from a holding play, and I'm like, oh man, that was tough. You go up 21-10. It could be not. It's not going to be over, but we're in a good spot. Get the ball. I have things of that nature. I was really thinking positive, and then the Cowboys start coming back. Man, they start coming back. CeeDee Lamb, unstoppable. They did that stack formation where they did a stack formation where it kind of puts the DBs in a peculiar situation where you don't know what route they're going to run. Should I take inside leverage? Should I take outside leverage? And CeeDee Lamb was just bodying Jalen Mills the whole game, man.
God, bro.
The whole
I was
game.
hoping you didn't say the name.
Of course it's gonna come. I mean,
I was doing good until you said the name, CJ.
Oh man, I mean, I had to bring it up, bro. And just had a bad game. They came back. They missed. Honestly, this was a game where we could have easily won. And I know, if you're a Patriot fan watching this, you're probably saying that about, maybe 3 or 4 of the losses that New England has.
Oh yeah.
But this one was definitely in the bag. I mean, Dallas had over 100 yards and penalties, just moving backwards the whole time. It's definitely a game where you feel like, New England could steal this one against a really good team and keep it pushing into a couple games where it looks winnable. I say you have to see looks winnable. You can't even. It's not even a foregone conclusion like it used to be. But just didn't happen. Mac hit the pick. Listen, was it should Bourne have caught it? Sure. He was pressured a little bit. He had to get the ball out quick. I feel like Bourne should have caught it, but again, I mean, it just goes back to he's not a number 1. He's a number 3. So he's a number 3 guy.
Playing as our number 1, by the way.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And he dropped it, and then Trayvon. This guy has, I don't know. He got glue on his gloves, bro. Because every time
luckiest corner I've ever seen. I don't think he's intercepted one pass that wasn't a deflection. I swear to God.
It's every time he touches the football, bro. It's a pick. It's a pick, and then he took it to the crib, which honestly helped us. It helped us. At the end, it helped us because say if he gets tackled, all they got to do is run 2 plays. The game is over. 2-minute warning. New England had 1 timeout. They get a first down. They get a first down as GGs, and then they kick the field goal. So at first, looking at after the pick, I'm like, oh man, really, bro? But then I looked at the time. I was like, all right, 2:11. There's some time left. And then Mac, confident, man, goes right back to the well, not afraid, throws it back over the Dig side. Dig bites because he thinks he has safety help, and the safety bites trying to make a play, and it failed, and then Borden goes 75 to the crib, and I'm like, let's go. We get the 2-point conversion to Kobe Myers. All right, 20. I'm like, all right, it's 29.
Still hasn't scored a touchdown though.
Still hasn't scored a touchdown. Still hasn't got a touch. It's in 3 years. It's incredible. I don't even think I've heard of anything like that. As much as he's been on the field. So I'm like, all right, 29-26. All we need is one stop. They get the 4th down to Cedric Wilson. Oh, I think it's like 4th and 4. I'm like, oh man, like come on. Then they get the penalty. I'm like, all right, we're good. We good. 3rd and 25. I'm like, yo, bro, all we have to do is play. Of course, you're playing too high. All you got to do is play the middle of the field. You play the middle of the field because that's where they want to go.
Bro,
try to get a chunk play.
Every defense in the NFL puts 16 people on the 1st down marker to make sure they don't get there. Gang tackle. You shouldn't even have anybody pressuring Dak. But I'm not mad about it.
We didn't. We didn't. It was only about. I think it was only like 3. Maybe I think they only rushed 4. I think they only rushed 4, and I'll get to the defensive line in a second. I mean, outside of Judon, I think they're just playing patty cake with the O lineman. But 3rd and 25, Jalen Mills. Look at the replay. You have safety help behind you. Why are you playing outside leverage? Maybe that's a defensive call. Maybe that was Steven Belichick telling them. Maybe he was telling those guys that's what you need to do. I don't know. I mean, he's known for making all the little faces and stuff. That's cool and all, you feel me? But
by the way, I'm sorry to interrupt you again. If that man's married, there's true hope for everybody. I'm just saying. I'm just throwing it out.
I'm crying, bro. I'm crying. It was just tough. It's tough. You're giving up giving up the inside leverage when you have the safety help on the back end. So if he blows by you on the outside leverage, you have the safety help. So you should automatically know that he's going inside. He's backing up, backpedaling. I mean, and then all the way up to 20-something yards. 20-something yards. You just running, looking at him, seeing what he's gonna do. And he does like a deep in, an extended in, and that gives him the ball, and it's 4th and 1. Then they kick the field goal, take it into OT. And then OT, man, we get the ball. I was like, all right, let's go. Let's see what we do. Wasn't a big then Aguilar, man. Aguilar.
Oh.
Now when I put the tweet out, right, at first I didn't see the safety on the 45. So it just looked like, he was gonna take it. But again, I mean, you make one move.
That's a 30-yard gain.
That's what I'm saying.
In his sleep.
That's what I'm saying. So you got to catch that. You have to catch that, man. Looking at the replay, I was looking at the all-22, and he looked upfield before he had full possession, and that's why he dropped it. And that's honestly a lot of times, a lot of reasons why wide receivers drop the ball. He thought he was gonna catch it so easy. He looked up to see what was in front of him, and he coughed it up. And of course, we know the infamous meme with Aguilar about the guy talking about, he could have
catching babies unlike Aguilar.
Yeah, exactly. So that's gonna haunt him until he figures it out. Until he figures it out, man. You got to make that catch, and then pretty much after that, listen, you could talk about the face mask. Was it a face mask? Yeah, but it's the ref. The ref wasn't gonna call it. Wasn't gonna call it. To me, I wasn't a fan of going back to Aguilar on that play. I feel like we should have maybe got Henry to rock, maybe Myers on 3rd and 3. I didn't trust going back to Aguilar. And then I knew once we got the stop, they were gonna drive down and win the game. You could just tell just off the momentum of them and how they played, and what they did driving to tie it up to take it into OT. So and then Dak, walk off, and again CD Lamb for the walk-off touchdown. I mean, he did great for my fantasy.
Yeah, CJ, I got a question for you. Who was that walk-off against?
Yeah, again, Jalen. It was the same thing. It was the same thing. I don't know what the play call was on that. I don't know if it was 2 high safeties on one, but he was getting cooked, man. He was getting cooked, and there's no other way to put it. I would have put him. I would have put him on
Cedric.
Cedric Wilson. I would have put him on Cedric Wilson to have Jonathan Jones play CD, and then of course JC play Amari. But I don't know, man.
Listen, CJ, I'm just very happy, super happy that we get Gilmore back next week. That's the only thing keeping me alive.
You're funny, man. You're funny, bro. I mean, listen.
I can't, man. I can't.
Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough play, tough game to watch. Like I said, it was a roller coaster of emotions. But that's kind of been the Patriots all year so far. These first 6 weeks, even the game against the Bucks, the game against the Dolphins, same thing. So, I'm just coming to grips that we're an inconsistent football team, and they don't make plays when they need to make them. And it's a rebuilding year. I've come to grips with that. A rebuilding year. It's not retooling; it's still rebuilding. Last year, from last year to this year, it's I guess a small upgrade. Have a little bit better talent than last year, but the inconsistencies are still there. And like I said, I've come to grips. I mean, one more loss, and it's mathematically it's clipped. So looking at the schedule, they got a couple teams that they could beat. They got the Jets, Jags, things like that. But I just say they're too inconsistent. They're too inconsistent for me to have a significant hope in them. And that's just what it is, man. Just hopefully Matt can continue to improve. That's in terms of a silver lining. Hopefully Matt can continue to improve, and as he goes into his second year, and hopefully we get a wide receiver one next in the offseason. You're gonna need a wide receiver one, bro. You're gonna need a Godwin, OBJ, Allen Robinson.
I was gonna say you must be smoking on something if you think it's gonna be from the draft.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be a free agent guy. It's gonna have to be a free agent guy, man. It can't be in the draft, bro. N'Keal Harry. I don't know, but N'Keal Harry knows the playbook more than all the other guys that got picked up this year, and he doesn't even touch the field as much as those guys. So that says a lot. So yeah, they need some help. They need some help, and they need some pass rushers, dog. Judon's great. Outside of that, it's not. I mean, they picked up Jamie Collins. He's good here and there. I guess I don't know what the person
that led the team in sacks last year, Chase Winovich, just went on IR.
Yeah, Winovich is good. He's more of a coverage sack guy. He's not a guy that has an array of pass rush moves that's going to get to the quarterback.
The sad part is, CJ, like I said, he led the team in sacks last year.
Yeah, exactly. The pass rush has been, just
terrible since Chandler Jones left.
Yeah, it's been mid. It's been mid. Yeah, except since Jones left. So it's just what it is. It's unfortunate. And yeah, man, that's all I have to say. I know I ranted for like a couple minutes, but I just had to get all that off, CJ. Bro. That's the point of this show.
You know what? You said everything beautifully. You said everything I'm going to say, but I'm going to reiterate it, okay? And I'm going to start blaming people. Okay? First of all, I don't understand. Actually, no, let me start from the end of the game. Let's work backwards almost. Now, I'm in the complete – I just went on a 15-minute rant about why the Bills' decision to go for it on fourth down was the dumbest thing I've ever seen, right? Once again, why didn't you go for this one if you're the Patriots? In overtime, listen, I know that if you don't get it, you're probably going to lose the game. Guess what? I would have much rather lost the game that way because you knew, like you said, CJ, me and you both knew the minute that the Cowboys got the ball back, the game was over. They couldn't stop him in the third quarter. They couldn't stop him in the fourth quarter. They definitely were going to stop him in overtime. So at that rate, put us all out of our misery, go for it on 4th and 6, and if you get it, you get to continue the drive. Maybe, you get something going from in that situation. If you don't get it, Cowboys run 2 or 3 plays, kick a field goal, bye-bye, whatever. At least I can go to bed a couple minutes earlier. So I don't understand not going. I don't understand not going for it in that situation. That seems like a situation where you should go for it. That's the second time it's happened. That against the Bucks, I'm still to this very moment don't understand any explanation why they didn't go for that fourth down. But anyway, and then like you said, Jalen Mills, you're useless. You are a literally useless cornerback to be on this team. And I joke about, oh, thank God Gilmore's coming back. He was under contract this year. So unless he was going to sit out and not collect his money, he was going to end up playing.
Well, he wanted he wanted a pay grade, and there was reports that Bill did offer him an upgrade. I guess he wanted a long-term deal.
No, that's great. That's fine with me. That's fine. I understand they did everything. But once you knew that you weren't going to get him back, here's my thing. You were going to release him and then traded him for a 6th-round pick anyway. So why not just make him play on the team this year and improve your team? Was the 6th-round pick really worth that much to you? Listen, unless you're pulling out AB or Tom Brady, I don't care about a 6th-round pick. Not even a little bit. Not even in the slightest bit possible do I care about a 6th-round pick in my life. Has absolutely no value to me. I can't even trade Stephon Gilmore on Madden for a 6th-round pick. So that means absolutely nothing to me. Then you go to, Nelson Aguilar, who, I've been told by some people before that drops are a dumb stat. They don't really matter. Yeah. Ask any Eagle fan, and you can now ask us, or you can, hey, you can look at Tyreek Hill. This man's dropping everything. You would have thought that he turned into Nelson Aguilar. So you're not going to sit here and tell me that drops don't matter, because they clearly do. That was a 30-yard gain in his sleep. And like you said, you put one move on the safety, and Aguilar's got some speed. Maybe he beats him to the sideline or something like that. I don't know. But he has some speed. Kendrick Bourne is literally the only valuable sign. I lied.
Judon.
Him and Judon are the only valuable signings that have occurred in this offseason. And listen, your boy got tricked. I was very happy when they signed Henry. I was very happy when they signed Johnny Smith. I was like, wow, we actually have these thing called tight ends back on the team. The Patriots love their tight ends. Blah, 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 blah. They're going to be good again and all this. So, yeah, well, look at me. Stupid again, because I had faith in a free agent signing that wasn't, Darrelle Revis. And then, like you said, I think I'm over blaming Mac anymore. I think this whole season is about, him showing what he can do and, continuing to play the way he is. Because, in all honesty, yes, the Patriots are losing games, which, we can clearly tell. But Mac is not playing bad. I'm not putting these losses on Mac. He's not. There's no way that you're going to sit here and convince me that he's the reason that they're losing games. He was 15 of 21, 229, two touchdowns, that interception. I think Bourne should have caught the ball. Obviously, was not the best pass ever made, but if the ball hits both of your hands, I think that you should be able to make a catch. So, our leading receiver, like you said, was Kendrick Bourne, and he had one catch, and it was that 75-yard touchdown. Other than that, it's Jacoby Myers, 5 catches, 44 yards, and Ramondre Stevenson, who's about the 18th running back on the roster. And the only reason he's playing is because J.J. Taylor fumbled, Damian Harris is, whatever, and James White got injured, so at least Harris needed a backup. That's the only reason Stevenson's on the field. So, all these free agent signings that I was so excited about, how the Patriots had 10 wins, yeah, wrong again. Did they lose to a better team? Yes, they did. The Cowboys have been good this year. I still don't know how impressed I am by them. It's not like they're beating anybody crazy. The one team that we all think are very good, they lost to, which is the Bucs, and they did beat the Chargers, so I'll give them that. That was their most impressive win of the season so far. Other than that, it's been the Eagles and the Giants, and they beat us, and we put up 29 points. And CJ, I don't think I've seen 29 in years now. I couldn't remember the last time the Patriots offense actually scored something. So, there's a certain point where, and one last thing, is there a reason? And I can't figure it out. If CJ, you probably much smarter than me. I'm not even going to lie here. Is there a reason that the Patriots can't stop anybody in the fourth quarter? Or not even the fourth quarter, I would say, when it matters. Throughout the game they can play. If there's a third down that they absolutely need, before halftime, in the fourth quarter, you automatically know. You could once again sell your house, and if there's a prop bet, put it down that the opposing team is getting a first down. They can't stop anybody when it actually matters.
They don't have an elite playmaker. on
Yeah.
defense or either side, really.
And I mean, it's all cool and dandy when you can get stops, occasionally. But those big moments when you actually need them, kind of matter. And then finally, listen, Bill, I'm begging you, and I mean begging you. I might start a shrine. Like people that they usually put Jesus up there. I'll put a shrine up to you, Bill, and start praying daily. If you give up the GM role. Listen, we can all agree, greatest coach, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to sit here and argue that. You are the worst GM I've ever seen in my life. CJ, I will give you 25 minutes. We can do the rest of the show in silence for all I care. If you can name somebody that the Patriots have drafted on offense that is actually valuable other than Brady, which obviously you get a gold feather for that one, Gronk, which, once again, another gold feather. So we got two, and then I'll give them Edelman. But if you want to go ahead and name anybody else on offense, I'm going to sit here. I'm a little curious.
Yeah, I would say Hernandez, obviously, before everything that transpired. Throw him in that mix. Other than that, yeah, it's a wide receiver. Can't do it. Can't.
I mean, even
can't
running back, Sony Michel drafted in the first round, not even on the team.
Yeah. When it comes to skill guys, that hasn't been his MO. And again,
and even
Brady's been the greatest
defensive mind ever, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And like you said, there's no such thing as the pass rush on this team. Don't you think you would have an eye for defensive talent?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's come to a time where you could have great scheme, but you also have to have the talent, man. You need the talent. You need the talent around you to make those things happen. And right now, they just don't have that type of talent on both sides of the football. You talked about Henry and Smith.
Deion
Branch. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess while he was on the Patriots, yeah, because the minute he left. But see, that's my other thing, too. I can't determine. I mean, I guess you can determine because some of the people that were drafted, sucked either way. But some of these players that you would put, were very good that Bill drafted, if they ever went to another team, they would be terrible. Like Deion Branch, when he left the Patriots without Brady, he was awful. He came running back and then was good again.
Yeah, because Brady is the greatest common denominator ever, really. I mean, just because look at what we're saying. We're talking about the lack of skill position players, and he still managed to get 6 Super Bowl rings, out in New England. So he's the greatest common denominator of all time. I mean, there's no question about it. And again, going back to the tight ends, the thing that made Gronk and Hernandez a great duo were that they got yards after the catch. Smith and Henry do not do that. Henry is more of he'll get the yardage, but he's not shaking anybody and getting any yards after the catch. He's not doing that. Smith, listen, man, it's still 6 weeks and he's gonna be on the team for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So I want to stay positive. I want to stay positive when I talk about the team. But right now it looks like until he shows otherwise, he was just a product of them stacking that box for when Henry was, and he was getting a lot of open looks off the play action because of Henry. That's what it looks like right now.
See, and that's the thing. And that's the thing.
That's tough.
Bill said, you remember last year, when they played the Titans or whatever year that was, that Jonnu might be one of the best run after catch tight ends that he's ever seen. Yeah, where'd it go? What happened?
Yeah, it's easy to get. Yeah, it's easy to get that
glasses.
Open when. Yeah.
Listen, I know I wear glasses. Do I need a new prescription? Am I not seeing something?
Like I said, you got to stack that box for 22, man, you're gonna get open a lot, and they're not thinking about him like that. They're trying to stop Henry. They're not thinking about stopping Jonnu Smith. So that's why he was able to get those yards after the catch. And right now it's not looking like that. It's not looking like that, man. Like I said, you're gonna need a wide receiver one. Clearly, Dallas have 2 wide receiver ones.
Yeah,
They have two wide receiver ones.
The Bucks have 3.
The Bucks have. I'll say 2. I like Godwin. But I think Evans and AB. They're definitely wide receiver ones. But Godwin is good
the
though.
Rams have borderline 2.
Wide receiver. Well, I think Kupp's a wide receiver 1.
Oh no, I do too. I'm talking about Robert Woods. I think he's the more borderline one than Kupp.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly. And that's what you need. I mean, we're naming up teams right now, and that's what you need in the NFL, man. You need elite talent or close to elite talent at the skill position players. It doesn't matter who's under center. We keep having this conversation every week because we keep watching the Patriots continue to lose these games because they don't have elite playmakers, and it's going to continue to be that way.
I think this is the reason why I think draft picks are useless. I really do. So, I know this is a football show, obviously, but I'm also a part-time Oklahoma City Thunder fan because, basketball is my third sport, so I'll say part-time.
You got to come home, man. Come home. New York forever, baby. Come home, man. Get out of that arena, bro. Chesapeake is not the wave no more, man.
No, it's not. Trust me.
Come home, bro. Come home.
I'm watching KD go crazy in Brooklyn. But
not that home. Talking about the other home. Go ahead.
I know what you're talking about.
Go ahead, though.
But the Thunder have 85 draft picks over the next 3 years. Guess what? If none of those players are good, then it doesn't matter. So if I'm the Patriots, guess what? You know that you can't draft. You've established your weakness. Just own it, Bill. You suck at drafting. Own what you're bad at. Make an adjustment. Go ahead and go trade your first round pick, a second round pick. Oh, those are so valuable. Well, they're clearly not because you can't draft. And go get a wide receiver. Why? When the Vikings wanted to trade Diggs, the Patriots should have offered them 3 first-round draft picks. What were you going to do with the first-round draft picks anyway? I'll tell you what they were going to do. I'm going to give you guys a hint right now. I know I'm not the smartest person you're ever going to meet in your life, but the Patriots usually trade back their first-round picks anyway into the second round. So they don't mean anything to you anyway. But whatever. We just did an hour and 2 minutes on basically 2 games. So I guess we should probably move on there, unless you got anything else to add, CJ.
Nah, man. Listen, I'll just end it. I'll give credit to Dallas.
Listen, I haven't been broken that much, CJ. I refuse to do that so far.
They were resilient. They could have definitely laid down. I think past Cowboy teams they probably laid down in this game, but they stayed true. Dak, most passing yards against a Bill Belichick led defense ever.
Threw the ball 52 times.
Yeah, he was dealing, man. He was dealing out there, bro. He's good. He's good. A lot of people already they already had a story on him. Like this was it. He wasn't going to be this good, and he was all right. It was the run game, and he wasn't going to get any better. He is who he is. People love using that line about quarterbacks that kind of go under the radar, and he's showing that you can improve, you can get better every single season, and he's matching up with the bread. I think a lot of people had questions about that maybe a year or two ago, but he's playing great now, so I got to give him credit. I got to go to the Raiders and the Broncos, AFC West matchup. Broncos trending downwards like we expected.
Yeah. Like I said, worst 3-0 team I ever saw. So I'm patting myself on the back from that one.
Exactly. Yeah, you should. And in Vegas, after a media crazy week, everything that happened with Gruden and things like that, they came back on the road in Denver, high altitude, got it done against the Broncos. Derek Carr had a great game. Have to throw him in that MVP conversation. We'll talk about who our MVPs will be in a little bit, but he played a great game. Henry Ruggs got it going finally. Shout out to my fantasy team, and he did well. He played well, man. Got to give them credit. The defense played solid as well. They look like they kind of they playing inspired. They got some relief off their shoulders, and they just playing football now. No more distractions. They could just play football. So good for Vegas. Any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I did not watch much of this game. Obviously, this was on in the late window, I believe. So I
Yeah.
was locked into our boys.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
but yeah, Broncos were the worst 3-0 team I had ever seen in my entire life. So I'm not surprised that they've now come back to the packet of being 3-3. And the Raiders, yeah, this was kind of impressive. You know, like you said, they had to deal with some John Gruden situations going on over there, and that could be an easy distraction. This could have been an easy loss for them. You know, obviously a divisional game; those games are usually tough. You see each other, twice a year, so you usually know what the other team is going to do. But they came out, they won the game, and very quietly, Derek Carr is playing very good again. And I've always thought that he's been a good quarterback, and I just think that the organization has never really put faith in him. But he's kind of proven everybody wrong once again. So a solid win for the Raiders, 4-2, and they hang on to second place.
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. All right, transition into the Cardinals coming into this game undefeated, going up against the Browns. Man, the Cardinals offense, they're dominant. I know a lot of people are saying D-Hop is having a bad year or he's regressed a little bit. I just think they just have more weapons now. And, Kyler doesn't have to be so D-Hop centric and give him the ball, almost every snap. They got Rondell Moore. They got Christian Kirk making plays. AJ Green looks like he's, playing really well right now. So, hey, man, I think the running game's looking solid. Connor's got it going. Edmonds is this, and then the defense too. Got to give the defense some credit as well. J.J. Watt, Buda Baker, Murphy. Really playing well on that side of the football. They're really playing well on that side of the football too. So, just a big time win for the Browns. For the Cardinals. What do you think about the Browns? I know Baker got hurt, had the left arm injury. A lot of people thought he'd be out. He was doing a post game press conference in a sling. Where do you see the Browns right now? And do you think they could potentially get back in the win column? 2 games skid right now. I don't know. We got to see what their schedule looks like.
I think they play the Broncos actually on Thursday.
Thursday night. That's
week,
right. That's right. Yes, that's right. So, what's your thoughts on Cleveland right now? Where do you see them going moving forward in the AFC?
Yeah, it's getting tough. It's getting tough. They're kind of entering, which is kind of crazy to say, that Ravens level of injury. Baker's obviously hurt. Jarvis is still out. Odell got hurt in this game as well. I know he came back in, but he obviously still got banged up. And now both of your running backs are out. We always talk about how obviously they're far and away the best running back duo, but guess what? They aren't when they aren't on the field. So I think Kareem Hunt is going to be out for a few weeks with the calf thing. Nick Chubb's not playing this week either. So now you're down to your third string. You might be down to, obviously Jarvis and Odell coming into the season are your 1 and 2. So you might be down to you're elevating your third and fourth string to your now 1 and 2 wide receivers. And listen, I know Baker might be able to play through that shoulder, but at some point it has to affect you. There's no way that having a shoulder injury like that doesn't affect you. I believe a couple weeks ago, he slightly tore it, and then this week it gets popped out. So the Browns are in trouble. The Browns are in trouble, and I think a lot of it has to do with the injury stuff. I think if they're a fully healthy team, that I would still have a lot more faith in them. But guess what? It's the NFL. You can ask the Ravens. Nobody's really fully healthy. I said this last night on Generational Sports that the minute you put on pads in training camp, you're no longer 100%. That first hit, you're no longer 100% from training camp on. So, you can't really boo-hoo for the Browns too much, but at some point the injuries add up. I know that the popular thing is next man up. Well, guess what? You're the next man up because you're not good enough to be the man. So the Browns are kind of entering that situation, and
quarter the stream right there. Quarter the stream right
there.
Okay, not the next man up because you weren't supposed to be the man. Okay.
Yeah, I like rapper that. Connie out here. Maybe I'm spinning some bars. You feel
it? Yeah, I like that quote, man. Yeah. All right.
But yeah, the Browns are definitely in trouble now because, like I said, they're injured to all hell, and I think they can beat the Broncos. Like I said, I thought the Broncos were, the worst 3-0 team ever. It was the Jets, Giants, and Jags. Those games shouldn't even count on the record. They're 0-3 in my eyes. So I think the Browns can, still win this game, but it's going to be tough for them moving forward. I think that their schedule is pretty difficult as well. I'm not completely sure about that one, but it might be tough sledding for the Browns. And, this is obviously a team that I had a lot of faith in. I think I picked them to win the division. It doesn't look too good right now, especially with the Ravens, 5-1 and playing the way that they are. But the Browns are definitely in trouble. Just quickly before we go on, the Cardinals. Woo! If you would have told me, first of all, if they were going to be 6-0, I would have thought that you were on, some other type of things. But yeah, like you said, that offense is looking very good. Kyler, might be leading the MVP conversation. You have D-Hop, AJ Green is all of a sudden relevant again. Christian Kirk, Rondale Moore, and then that defense, J.J. Watt is turning the clock back a little bit. You still have Chandler Jones over there, so they're playing very, very good football right now, and they're definitely a threat. It could have all fallen apart. I think the big test for them was that Rams game, and they came out and bodied them. So going forward, I don't really know why you would bet against the Cardinals. And I mean, I looked at their schedule too. I don't see losses for them. Like I don't know how many games I really see them losing now, which, like I said at the beginning of the year, was kind of crazy. But I mean, you just
what's their next four?
Their next four. I was just getting there. What is the Texans next? I mean, really? Then they play the Packers. Now that's hard. That's a tough game, but they're lucky they get it in Arizona. They don't have to travel.
Well, Rodgers got some couple Hail Marys over. Remember back in the day?
I remember watching that game live. That was one of the craziest games I've ever seen in my life. And then they play the 49ers again, but they're all banged up. Right. So do I really have faith in that? Not really. Then they play the Panthers. They haven't really, done anything since CMC went down. They play the Seahawks again. No Russ. They play the Bears. I expect that to win. Then they play the Rams again, which could obviously be lost, but once again, they already played them in LA. So this one's in Arizona.
Right.
So it's possible to win that game, and then they finish off the season with the Lions, win. The Colts, possibly. The Cowboys, that's going to be a shootout game.
So it'll be a great game.
And then they finish the season off with the Seahawks, where Russell will be back, but it's also the last week of the season, so maybe they, decide not to play people. But, I mean, off the top of my head, that's like 3 losses.
Right, for sure. It's looking like it. They're playing good football, man. They're playing great football. Like you said, a lot of people probably thought they'd be the 4th best team in that division.
I did. Matt, I think the Packers are going to end their unbeaten streak? I would have never guessed that from you, ever.
Facts, right? They're playing excellent on both sides. On both sides, man. Got to give that defense some credit. I believe Vance Joseph is their defensive coordinator. He's been around for sure. I think he had a head coaching stay in Denver for a little bit, so he definitely knows his defense, man. And they're playing great football. Let's go to the Vikings and the Panthers. It was a good game. Darnold played okay. He played solid. Kirk Cousins, man, these last few games, playing some good football. He's playing good football. I'll give him his credit. I don't want to knock him right now. They're winning game. I want to see how he plays prime time games against Green Bay, against some of these top echelon teams in the conference, how he plays. But right now they're playing good football. Got to win on the road in Carolina. Listen, man, where do you see Panthers dog water?
Without CMC.
Yeah, without McCaffrey, bro, it's going to be tough. I mean, that's essential. That's their focal point of their team. Definitely on offense. Because he's not only just a running back for them, he's also one of their top receivers. So it's like you're losing 2 players, and his ability to be so dynamic with both of those skill sets, you can't really replace that. So until they get him back, it's definitely going to be kind of these 500 close games, and they're going to have to rely on Darnold to be great. And right now, I just don't see it. He's not great. He's he's okay. He's okay. And I think maybe they might, if if this season goes downhill, I think he's supposed to be eligible to come back McCaffrey week 9. So we'll see what happens in these next few games or so, what happens with the Panthers. But again, I have to give credit to the Vikings. They're winning some games. Dalvin Cook, yeah, he's a dog. He's a beast. They got two dogs on the outside as well with Thielen and Jefferson. So they look good, man. I just want to see how they play against some of these top teams in the NFC, and that's why I can really see where they stand right now and throughout the season.
Yeah, I mean, I this is another game that I just didn't watch too much of, but looking back on it and hearing Josh yesterday talk about it, it's kind of startling to me, at least, how bad the offense looks without McCaffrey. Because, like I said over and over on this episode, this is the NFL. Like, people get hurt. This is not baseball where it's kind of weird if you get hurt and it's like a little a twisted ankle running the bases. No. These are grown ass men running into each other at full speed. So like you're gonna get hurt eventually, and the fact that there's no backup plan sort of situation for the Panthers if McCaffrey got hurt. Yeah, coming off of the year where he did get hurt.
Right. This year's draft, they're going to definitely have to try to do something about that for sure.
And I mean, that's the other thing too. I mean, I think I got fooled a little bit. I think Panthers fans got fooled a little bit. Sam Darnold is still not that good. I'll just say that. He looked really good when McCaffrey was there. That's when they had the RPO going, and he was, leading the NFL in rushing touchdowns, which is weird. But I still don't think that Darnold is really the answer to anybody's problems. Could be a nice backup in the league, or play for one of those teams that he's good on the Titans. He's good.
Maybe
Darnold might be good on the Titans, where you have two stud wide receivers and then Derrick Henry, where all you have to do really is have 99 handoff and 99 play action. If we're talking about Madden here, so that's where Sam Darnold might be the best. And then over to the Viking side, the Panthers defense has looked good this year, so it was impressive to me that they put up 34 points, and Kirk has looked good so far. Mr. You like that. Still have to see him win in the big situations, obviously, because that's kind of what he's been known for, not doing that. But hey, at the moment they're 3-3. They're still in the thick of things, to say the least, and maybe they go, they make the playoffs and do a little something. I don't think that'll happen, but they can make the playoffs. Why not? Anything's possible.
It's possible. Like I said, I just got to see how they play against those top guys, like we talked about. Those top teams. Baltimore against Chargers. A lot of people didn't expect this outcome. 34-6 for Baltimore. I thought this was going to be a really good game. Two young quarterbacks. Ravens, man, smacked them in the mouth. I think the Chargers kind of lost all their juice going up against Cleveland last week, dropping 47. Can't do that against this team, man. Can't do that against this team. What's your thoughts on that? What was your thoughts on this game? Where do you see Lamar right now in the MVP conversation? Do you have him in the MVP conversation? And what do you think about the Ravens right now? Being one of the top team in the AFC, and do you think they can sustain this with all the injuries?
This year has been impressive so far. Obviously, for the Ravens, they're 5-1. They're technically the best team in the division. Or not the division, the conference. But this was very impressive. Like you said, they held the Chargers to 6 points. This was a team that just scored 47 or 49 points against the Browns, and you get held down to 6 points. I think the bigger story in this game was the Ravens defense. Honestly, I mean, they did a lot of things that confused Justin Herbert. And of course, Herbert, really, you had to do it this week after last week. I literally just gave you all this praise. Come on, bro. You're making me look bad out here. But yeah, they did a lot of things to confuse the Chargers. It looked like they were going to zero blitz at some points, and then, they would back off and play coverage. And then, they would look like they were going to zero blitz again and then play coverage, but a different person would blitz this time, and all these different situations. So it was a really good game plan from the Ravens. And the other thing that was kind of startling in this game is how bad the Chargers' run defense was. Like, I didn't know that they were that bad on the running side of things. And that's obviously a terrible matchup if you're going to ever play the Ravens, because they're kind of like the Titans. We know that they're going to run the ball. And a big part of that running game is obviously Lamar. He didn't really do it. He didn't really have to do everything in this game, like we talked about last week, where he was 505 yards of the total offense out of like the 524, I believe it was. But Lamar didn't really have to do all that much in this game. He was 20. Nope, that is Justin Herbert, not Lamar. Lamar was 19 to 27, 167 yards, a touchdown, had 2 interceptions. So definitely not the best passing game of his career, obviously coming off of a great one. And then he had 8 rushes for 51 yards. That's the typical Lamar that we know. But, Freeman had 9 carries, 53 yards. And Latavius Murray, 9 for 44. Le'Veon Bell resurrected from the dead, 8 for 18 and a touchdown. And, you just look at the averages of their top 5 rushers, 5.9, 6.4, 4.9. Like, that's 2 plays and you're getting first downs every single time. So it was just way too easy for the Ravens to run the ball. And obviously, listen, I've been known for my, I wouldn't even say Lamar hate, my Lamar point, but you obviously have to put him in the MVP conversation here. This was a team that we kind of thought that we're going to fall off a little bit just because of all the injuries. Obviously they lose, I believe, both of their corners. I think they're down like 3 running backs at this point. So it's been very impressive so far with Bateman. I think this was his first week playing.
Yes.
So it's been impressive what they've done so far. I don't have him first. I think I still have him in the top 3 though.
What's your top 5? Yeah.
Top 5? All right. If I'm going top 5, I think I still have Brady at 1. He's having an unbelievable year. I'd put Kyler at 2. I'd probably put Lamar at 3, but I don't know. I'm listen. If you want to flip flop Lamar and Josh Allen at 3 and 4, I don't really care at this point. But I think that they're both right there. And then 5, I think, is also up in the air. You could throw Herbert in there, who's played good. You can throw, listen, like you said, you might be able to throw Henry in there. You could also throw Derek Carr in there. You could throw Dak in there. So there's a lot of people that are in this MVP race right now. And I think it'll obviously even out throughout the year right now. But of course, Matt had to throw in A-Rod.
Sure. Yeah. He's always going to be in the conversation. As long as him and 17 out there.
Listen, you could throw Matt Stafford in the conversation. He's having a great year as well. So there's a lot of people in this MVP conversation right now. Like, this is actually fun because I feel like there's a lot of years where it's kind of a runaway situation. Like, everybody knew Lamar was going to win a couple years ago. Everybody knew that Mahomes was going to win. Everybody kind of knew that Rodgers was going to win last year, even though I still think Josh Allen should have won, by the way. But yeah, there's a lot of people in this MVP race. What do you guys see? I'm curious now.
I got it. I got Brady, Kyler, Dak.
Hey, Matt, you're not wrong here. You could throw me and CJ into the MVP conversation as well,
I appreciate that, brother. Appreciate that, man. I got Brady, Kyler, Dak. I'm going to say Lamar and Henry.
Oh, you're leaving out Mr. Josh Allen, huh?
Yeah. Like you said, it's tough. It's tough. There's a lot of guys that you could throw in there. I think Monday night game, probably give Henry the slight edge a little bit right now. But we'll see how it plays out. But yeah, that's my top 5. It's honestly a calm 10 candidates you can name right now.
No, literally is.
Like, you could say, this guy is a front runner, and it'd be hard to debate.
All right, well, I said we move on from there. Go over the Packers and the Bears, a typical, division rivalry game. Now, listen, I don't have too much to say about this game. I'm not going to sit here and lie to the people. I didn't watch this game either. I had absolutely zero interest. I assumed that the outcome was what it was going to be. The Packers are going to beat the Bears. That's kind of like waking up every morning and seeing the sun. So I'm not really surprised here. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers had the quote of the year where, he said, "I still own you guys," and he's right. I think he's on a 5-game winning streak. I think he's like 25-9 against them. So he does. Congratulations. You beat the Bears again. I expected nothing less.
Yeah, same thing, man. Listen, man, it's just it's gonna be tough sailing, bro. As long as Rodgers in that division, just don't see anybody stopping the Packers, bro.
22-5. See, Matt, I gave him a few extra wins for you.
Their defense is hopefully they get some of those guys. Hopefully they get Preston and Zadarius back. Jair should be coming back. So they're 5-1. Matt LaFleur. Hey man, I know he has Rodgers back there, but what's his record? What's it? 25 and 31 and 7 or something like that right now. So
hey,
he's playing great. He's not playing great. He's coaching great, and you gotta give him some type of credit. Obviously, they gotta get past get over the hump, which is that NFC Conference Championship game. But he's definitely one of the best coaches in the NFL, bro. So, but yeah, as long like I said, as long as 12, 17 out there, it's gonna be tough to stop. And against the Bears, they just don't have the talent right now. The offensive line is depleted. So it's going to be tough for Chicago. Cincinnati Lions.
Ugh.
Didn't watch the game. I knew it was going to happen.
Not even a minute of it.
Yeah, I kind of knew what was going to happen. Jamar Chase. To me, he's front runner, offensive rookie of the year. No doubt about it. Lions, man. I heard Dan Campbell. He said the Goff has to play better. I just don't know how better he could get. I just feel like it's just what he is. Just what he is. He's not that great. He's not that great, and I don't know, man. Lions, bro. I just feel for Lions fans, bro. They didn't ask for any.
I don't know how they do it.
They didn't ask for any of this, man. Hopefully at some point they get some good fortune in the next few years or so. But yeah, Burrow, slinging it, dealing to everybody. You name him, Mixon's.
Jamar Chase too. I see you out here. Becoming a lineman out here. You see that block he laid down for that Mixon touchdown?
I did, yeah. That was a big time block, man. Never leave my brothers. Big time play, and that's those type of plays that win championships right there, bro, for real. And rookie doing that. Mixon, underrated running back. I know if Corey's watching this, he's probably going crazy. This guy's been a Mixon fan ever since
overrated for sure.
Ever since I joined the network. So. He's always been bullish on Mixon. He's been playing good football right now. When healthy, he's definitely good. Colts Texans, expected this. It's just sad. It's just sad. Davis Mills had his greatest game against the Patriots, but
312 yards,
312, yeah, 312,
3 touchdowns, no interceptions, and then they played the Colts and he couldn't do a thing.
Couldn't do anything. Carson Wentz, solid game. Jonathan Taylor. Again, Jonathan Taylor is going to be the key to that.
Yo,
offense.
That man is animal.
Animal, bro. Nelson's not even back, so they're going to be right there. They're going to be right there. They got some work to do. I really want to see how they play against Tennessee. Again, did they play Tennessee already? Right, if I'm not mistaken.
I would think. That's a great question you just asked.
Yeah, I think they did play Tennessee, but I want to see how they play against them again. They try to win that division. In the AFC South, it's gonna be between those two teams. So let's see. Hopefully they could try to get a stretch going in the next few weeks. Rams and the Giants.
Oh,
yeah. Like I was watching Netflix. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. When this game was on, I looked at the score on the NFL app. It was like 28-3. I was like, yeah, it's over. It's over. It's the Giants. Giants are the Giants, bro. It's just
CJ, that since
they got a clean house.
I think since 2017 that they have the worst record in the NFL. Now, that's worse than the Lions. That's worse than the Jets. That's worse than, I mean, the Browns were a laughing stock. That's worse than the Jags. I mean, you're
That's
talking
bad,
about
bro.
some bad. The second year in a row, by the way, they started 1-5. It's not a good time.
Yeah, it's not a good time at all. And like I said, they need to clean house. They need to clean house. Gettleman, Jones. I mean, listen, man. He has talent, but I just think playing in New York, their patience is very thin. Living in New York, the patience is very thin. Just as a
CJ, we know the New York market. Let me tell you.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think his time is up now, in New York, bro. Hopefully, maybe he can get a second chance elsewhere, but they just got a clean house over there with the Giants. Washington and the Chiefs.
This was scary for a little bit.
Yeah,
This
it was
nervous. If you're a Chiefs fan, you were nervous for a little bit. Don't lie to me.
for a little bit.
Don't
Yeah,
you dare lie to me.
for a little
I
bit, it
mean,
was definitely close. It was definitely close.
What was the score at halftime? Let's see if I can find that. But continue on. Sorry, I'm gonna try to look this up.
Well, like we were saying, close game throughout, but Chiefs pull away. They're a better team. I forgot the defensive lineman's name. He made a great play.
13-10 at halftime.
13-10 at halftime, and then
Washington, not Chiefs. Washington was winning.
And then the Chiefs scored 21 unanswered. So, it happens that quickly against this team, man. And again, Mahomes playing well. I mean, we're not even talking about, you could throw Mahomes. I mean, he's not having the best season of his career out of all the great years he's had already. Now he's still playing pretty well. I think he's second or third in passing yards. Definitely up there, and going to be up there in touchdowns. A little bit more interceptions than usual, but you look at a few of those are off some drops from Tyreek Hill receivers and things like that. So he's still going to play at a high level. The defense definitely played better than they played in the last few weeks. Yes, it was the Washington football team, but you still got to hang your hat on something, and I think they played solid. Then the London game definitely was knocked during this game.
Oh yeah, talk about slumped.
Yeah, caught the highlights. It looked like a pretty solid game. It looked like a pretty good game between the Florida teams.
Like I said, the NFL finessed these standalone games, man. Every standalone game so far this year has been actually good, and it doesn't even make sense.
Exactly. Jaguars got their first win.
I'm so happy for you, man.
Yeah, Trevor got their first one in London. Shout out to them. Tua played well. Well. I was looking at some of the all 22, and looking at the highlights too from the game.
Look at this guy, all right. CJ, a big all 22 guy, huh?
It's better to look at that sometimes, just to see like what really happens. You know what I'm saying? What defenses are really
big film guy, huh?
Yeah, it's a little bit, bro. So it's checking things out, man. It's checking some things out, but credit to the Jaguars. Close game, went down to the wire, game-winning field goal. So give them a lot of credit. And they've got the Thursday night football, and then last but not least, before we go to the week 7 picks, this game it looked like it was over.
Oh yeah,
and then there was a little situations here and there. Eagles started to battle back, and then ultimately, Tom was like, "All right, chill," and then led them to a solid drive at the end, and they were able to get it done. AB.
Bro.
What's your thoughts on this game? I'll get my final thoughts, and then we go to week 7.
Yeah, I mean, this is just another, like you said, it was definitely over at one point, and then, the Eagles start coming back, and you get a little confused, and then, like you said, they got that stop when they needed it. I mean, what can you really say about Brady? 34, 42, 297, 2 touchdowns. The interception was a little bit of a mix-up, I believe. And then, I'm gonna annoy people again because that's what I do. The people of our network, CJ, I don't know if you've ever, turned into the group chats or anything. Not a big Leonard Fournette guy. Not too many big Leonard Fournette guys. Well, I'm a Lenny guy. 22 carries, 81 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also had, 6
Why is that?
46 yards.
Did they give a reason?
That he, they're not even a top 20 running back is what I've heard.
What?
Bro, listen here. Here's all I'll say.
They can name 20 without Leonard Fournette.
Here's all I'll say,
impressive.
and this is where the disrespect gets to me. They had Alexander Madison and Tony Pollard better than Lenny.
Come on, man.
They had Josh Jacobs better than Lenny, which I don't agree with. Yeah, so it was definitely an interesting point. I mean, I can see if I can find the list here and cause a ruckus because, well, I mean, that's what I love to do.
Madison and Pollard,
bro,
those are RB2s. So how you got RB2s over?
You know what, CJ? See, CJ, this is why I need you, bro. I need some backup.
Or tag
in these group chats,
tag
bro.
me in. If I miss it, tag me in a couple of those. Debates,
I think I'm gonna start having to because I mean, I said the same thing. I said, bro, they're not even the best player on. They're not even the best running back on their team.
Exactly.
And then I had to hear that all because they're a backup doesn't mean that they're not good. So I'm a little confuzzled here. And
it's
you know what?
They're not good. They're just not better than.
CJ, this was my favorite thing because you mentioned that Corey really loves Mixon. Right. Now I'm going to give you some blind stats here. No, not really blind because I just mentioned it. But so Leonard Fournette, they've been in the league the same amount of years. 841 carries, 3,330 yards, 26 rushing touchdowns. Joe Mixon, 905 carries, 3,745 yards, 23 touchdowns. And then you go over to the receiving part of it. And Lenny has 195 for 1,455 and 2 touchdowns. And Joe Mixon has 137 for 1,039 and 5 touchdowns. So they're the same player, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a leap between those two guys.
All right, here I have a list. This is from Jesse, who also believes that Leonard Fournette is mid. So he had Mixon, which I just proved that they're the same running back. DeAndre Swift, who has
these are like 20 outside of the great ones, the great quarterbacks. I mean, running back. Oh,
no, they include the great. Great running backs.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that's incredible. You can do that.
DeAndre Swift, I don't agree yet. What has he really done in the NFL?
I disagree with that.
Antonio Gibson, I'm a big Gibson guy, so I'm not going to push back on that one. I'm a big Gibson guy.
He's not better than Fournette right now.
Dalvin Cook, obviously. CMC, obviously. Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
I
now, yeah, okay.
Well.
Yep.
Saquon, but then again, this man hasn't played in 2 years.
It's tough. Yeah, it's tough to put Saquon right now. Yeah.
Aaron Jones, I can agree with that as well.
Yes. Yep.
David Montgomery, I can see it.
It's close. If I'm making that, it's close. But I would take Fournette over.
Then we got Mr. Nick Chubb, obviously.
Right.
Kareem Hunt, I would even agree with that. I know Kareem Hunt is technically the second, but I mean,
he's the only exception to that, right?
Yeah, he's the only exception,
right? Yes.
Then we have then we have Zeke, and then we have Pollard. So Pollard, you lost me there.
Yeah. I can't do Pollard.
Henry, obviously. Kamara, obviously. I believe we have Chris Carson on this list as well. No chance in hell.
Yeah, I can't. Yeah.
J.K. Dobbins when healthy. I mean, what has he really done?
Yeah, I can't.
So I'm good on that. And then
I guess that's our upside. That's our upside list. That's our upside. Well, not list, but that's our upside.
Listen, we doing right now. I don't do upside. And then we have maybe even Madison, James Robinson, and Darrell Henderson.
Come on, man.
CJ, I'm gonna need you in these groups.
Fournette went to Tampa Bay and took Ronald Jones' job.
I was fighting for my life in that group chat. Shout out Mark for having my back as well, though. He's a big Lenny guy as well.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, like Fournette went to Tampa Bay and took Ronald Jones' job. And when they got him, I was like, yeah, he's gonna be the guy. I mean, because he's better than Ronald Jones. And then here we are. He's getting all the carries.
I don't know. I'm a big Lenny guy, so
Yeah, I like Fournette. He's a good player. He was on some dirt Jaguar teams other than 2017, and then whatever happened.
I feel like that's the other thing too. I feel like people don't realize that he left Jacksonville because he wanted to. Like he was telling them to trade him.
Right. Yeah. It got mixed between him and Coughlin and stuff like that. Right, and then he just wanted out. Exactly. Yep.
So it's not like it was a production thing, but people can have their own opinions. It's not like us. I mean, I'm not going to argue with people that are wrong, but it's whatever. It's whatever. But do you have any thoughts on this game, CJ?
Nah, yeah. I mean, again, Brady doing Brady things. AB. What can you say, man? No Gronk, no problem. They just have too many weapons for Philadelphia. I saw a writer, Philadelphia Inquirer, calling for the benching of Jalen Hurts. I didn't read the article. I saw the headline, So I'll read but just to talk about that topic, I don't know, man. I mean, I know Philly fans are not high on Hurts right now. Philly fans are just like New Yorkers from the sense that they're very impatient. Yeah. They're very impatient, and especially they tasted that Super Bowl ring, so now they're definitely greedy for instant success. And I know they don't like the Cowboys having success right now. So, I mean, I'm still a fan. I mean, again, he still hasn't played a full season of games yet in the NFL. Doesn't have a lot. Doesn't have he has his best receiver is a rookie. They just traded their best. Goddard. I would say Goddard now was probably a better option for them, which is why they forgot. And we forgot to mention Ertz now on the Cardinals, which adds to another dynamic for Arizona. They lose Max Williams and then they get Ertz, which is incredible. But yeah, I mean. We'll see what happens with Hurts. I wouldn't bench him right now. He's probably saying that because he's probably looking at it, looking at the top 10 right now in the draft. They have 2 top 10 picks in the draft for the 2022 NFL draft, and the better players they get, it's decreases their chances from going to a rebuilding team to a really good team. So if you get some talented guys, so I guess they were looking at it that way. But I still want to see what Hurts could do moving forward.
Yeah, I think that, like you said, it's kind of a situation where everybody's just impatient. We live in a very microwave society, as that is the popular term these days. And it's true. Everybody wants everything done right away. Nobody has really the patience to wait on anything. So, we'll see how Jalen Hurts does. I'm not ready to really give up on him either, so we'll see what happens. But with that being said, we'll go over – oh, yeah, this is true. And you see the Blitz Boy's best in the nation. Did you see his introduction on the Sunday Night Football game?
No. Oh, right. I did see that. Yeah, I did see.
He said Jamal Adams best in the nation. And then it's funny. It's kind of funny because you look at the PFF rankings and he's like 68 out of 89 or something like that. Best in the nation. Now that's bold. Look at that, CJ with the big W in Week 6. Because like I said before we get into our Week 7 picks, CJ, you did go. I believe 11-3 last week in the picks. I had a 9-4 situation going on, so you bounced back. I'm not gonna lie, CJ, I messed up the week previous, and I think I did the math wrong. So I don't have our overall records. I have to go back to 2 podcasts ago, and get our records from that. But at the moment, you went 11-3, I went 9-4. So. I don't know who has the overall record, but we'll find out next week. With that being said, we'll start our Week 7 predictions. We got the Broncos and the Browns. CJ, who you got in this one?
Man, it's so tough right now because you don't know the status of Baker. But even if Baker's not in there, I think Case Keenum's played some solid football. I'm gonna go with Cleveland. I'm gonna go with Cleveland, man. It's gonna be an ugly game. I'm gonna go with Cleveland now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with you on that one. I'm going with the Browns. I can't rag on the Broncos and then pick them. I've called them the worst 3-0 team I had ever seen. Now they're 3-3. So I think that goes to 3-4. And the Browns, take some time after this game. Maybe the week after that they get Jarvis back because I think he has potential of playing in this game, but I don't really like that potential word. So
Yeah, that means like a week or two later.
Yeah.
It's like in a week or two. All right, we got Panthers and the Giants. Who you got?
give me the listen. If the Panthers lose this game, we got some real problems. So the Giants can't beat anybody. Who did the Giants beat this year?
The Saints and OT.
Oh yeah. Now that's just awful. That seems like the Twilight Zone, kind of like the Bills and that Steeler game week 1. Doesn't even seem like it happened.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Carolina as well. Yeah, I can't go for the Giants. I'm sorry. Patriots. Got the Patriots in this one, man. Against the Jets.
Come on. If we lose this one, I might be out.
Yeah,
I might be done.
I might be with you, bro. I might be with you. This might be a different coach. Nah, I'm just like different host. We got Chiefs and the Titans. Sneaky good game. AFC Conference Championship rematch from 2019. Who you rolling with?
Oh man. You know what? I don't really know. You know what? Nah. Give me the Titans because that Chiefs defense is so bad. And the Titans have the good recipe. Keep the ball away from the Chiefs offense. You can't win if you don't score points. So give me the Titans. They're going to run the ball. Listen, you thought Henry had a good game this week. Let me tell you something. About to change.
Yes, I think Henry's going to have a great game, but I think the Titans lose. They just lost. They lost some secondary guys. Farley just tore his ACL, and then honestly, Josh Allen was dealing against that Titans defense. So just imagine what Mahomes could possibly do. So I'm gonna go with KC. Washington against Green Bay. I'm going with the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Packers here as well. Washington's. I don't know what happened to their defense. That might be the biggest mystery of the 2021 season.
Facts. We got Falcons, Miami. Falcons coming off a bye. Who you got?
I'm going to go roll with the Falcons in this one. I think Tua's going to have a good game because the Falcons defense is very bad, but I'm going to go with the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm gonna rock with Miami. I'm gonna go with Miami. I think they play pretty solid in London. I think Tua's second game back off the injury. I think they get it going. I hope they lose. From being the Patriot fan, I hope they lose. But you got to be objective. So I'll roll with the Dolphins. Bengals Ravens, good game. Ooh. Really good. Really on paper, really good game. Really good game. Two young quarterbacks right now. Burrow, Lamar, who you rocking with?
I think I'll go with the Ravens just because I think that they are the better team right now. But I would not be surprised even in the slightest bit if the Bengals won this game. Ravens coming off a big win against the Chargers, a game that everybody thought that, the Ravens would, it was going to be closer than it was. So maybe they put all their energy into that game. They come out a little flat against the Bengals, but I'll stick with the Ravens.
I think even though it's on paper right now, I think this is going to be a good game. I'm gonna go with Baltimore. The Bengals defense has impressed me, definitely in these first 6 weeks. Very impressed by what they've been able to do. They don't have a lot of superstar guys over there. Jesse Bates is really good at safety, but I just think the Ravens, the way they're playing right now, they're playing some solid football. I think they're able to continue to establish that run, control the clock. I'm going with Baltimore. Lions, Rams. I'm going with the Rams.
CJ, you're gonna sit here and tell me you're gonna pick against the Jared Goff return game? This is literally the same level as the Brady return game. I don't know how you're gonna pick. I don't know how you're picking against him, but yeah, no, I'm gladly gonna go with the Rams in this one as well.
Yeah, definitely, no question. Eagles and the Raiders. Who you going with?
Yeah, I'll stick with the Raiders in this one. I just don't think the Eagles are very good at football this year.
Yep, same. Going with Vegas. Got the Texans versus the Cardinals. I got the Cardinals going 7-0.
Oh, okay. Yeah, obviously. I don't know why. I don't know why. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I was still doing the picks. My notes got all messed up.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
So I had to be fake hosting right there. But yeah, Cardinals by probably by 25.
Facts. Yeah. Bears in the 49ers. Bears in the Buccaneers. I'm rolling with Tampa Bay. Bro. Tampa Bay, man. 6-1.
Yeah, definitely Tampa 6-1. Like you said, the Bears. I don't really know what they can do on offense, and I think Brady's going to make up because remember last year that was his infamous. He thought it was 4th down.
Yes, it was. Yeah. I forgot about that. He might want to go crazy. He might go crazy. Colts 49ers. 49ers coming off a bye. This could be a sneaky good game, man. Who you got?
I think this is a sneaky good game, and I'm sticking with the Colts. I'm sticking with the Colts. Winston-Annapolis MVP till the day I die, and 49ers are still banged up, so I'm going to go with the Colts.
So what's the status on Garoppolo?
He's playing because I think Trey Lance is hurt.
Okay. Yeah. This is tough. I'm gonna go with the Niners. I'm gonna go with the Niners in this one. I just think they do just enough to get the W. But the Colts need that dub though. If the Titans could beat the Chiefs, and then they lose, it could be tough for Indianapolis. But I'm still go with San Fran. And then is this the Monday night game?
Yes,
it's the Monday night game, right? Saints and the Seahawks. You got Geno versus Jameis.
Woo! What a quarterback matchup, am I right, people?
In college, they were elite. They were elite in college,
You're
man.
not wrong.
But this is the NFL, and I'm gonna go with the Saints. I'm gonna go with the Saints until I see anything else. I'm gonna go with the Saints. I believe they're also coming off a bye. I think Kamara, looking at what Najee Harris did on Sunday Night Football against the Seahawks, I think it's easily Kamara could do the same exact thing. So I got New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Saints too. Listen, I know that I said that I kind of like what the Seahawks did, but the Saints offense is definitely better than the Pittsburgh offense, and the Seahawks defense is still terrible. So I'm going to have to stick with the Saints. Obviously, if Russ is playing this game, I'd go them because without Russ, I think you guys will see that the Seahawks are definitely a top 5 pick every single year. So we'll find out. But those are our Week 7 picks. We went over all the games again. CJ, another excellent show, my friend.
Yes, sir, man. Great show, brother. Great show. Make sure you guys, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell for every time we go live. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at cjames9_. Garda Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1, coming soon, talking about the NBA, all things NBA. Look out for that. On Twitch, CJ versus the World. Again, thank you guys for listening to us, man, every single week, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. As CJ said, make sure you go over check out the YouTube. We've hit the 100 subscriber mark over there. We're at 101 right now, so let's keep that number moving in the right direction. As for me, you can find me on Twitter, AnthonyConover_. You can also find my other pod, Gen Z Sports, over there. I do that Mondays at 7 Eastern with me and Josh. Made a nice little announcement. We got our first, big boy sponsorship working with Underdog Fantasy. Nice daily fantasy sports a thing going on over there. Use code Gen Z for $10 with your first deposit. So
really
make sure you go to Underdog Fantasy, download that, and use this code Gen Z, baby. Put some help the boy make some bread. You feel me?
Yes,
why not? Monday 7 Eastern. That is when me and Josh do that. Obviously, me and CJ do the hard count. 9 Eastern every Tuesday. Talking everything in the football world. And then Thursday, I do Backstop Banter as well with Michael Lawson. Obviously, the MLB playoffs are going on right now. We got a crucial game 4 going on right now in the Astros-Red Sox series. It's tied up 2-2 in the top of the 8th right now. Boston leads the series 2-1, so Astros kind of need this game. The Dodgers with a miraculous comeback today to stop themselves from going down 3-0. So we definitely have a lot to talk about. Aaron Boone got a nice little extension. So we'll see what's going on there. But everybody, as per usual, thank you for tuning into the show. Me and CJ will see you guys next week, and y'all have a good one.